Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another Monday night live stream. I hope everybody is very well. I hope everybody is okay. Obviously, the world is in a very funny place at the moment, and obviously we've just in the UK we've just had a big kind of sort of announcement by our Prime Minister. For those that are not in the UK, which has pretty much kind of put the UK on lockdown now for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So it's kind of it's still kind of sinking in a little bit as to what that means now. However, the plan is to plough ahead. I'm sure you get 24-hour news about coronavirus and about all of the problems in the world. What I'm going to try and do tonight and every other time I stream and every other time I give you a video, I'm going to try and give you a little positive kind of friendly place to come. I'm not going to tell you let's not talk about it because it's the most important thing that's happening in the world. If you guys want to chat about it, if you want to kind of tell me sort of what situations you're in, I'm more than happy to talk about it. But I want to try and keep it positive. There's a lot of doom and gloom around at the moment. I assume everybody in the chat is fitting well. I did see, I think it was Gary there. His daughter is suffering from some symptoms at the moment. So Gary, I hope everybody is well and makes a full recovery very soon. But we've got to keep going, haven't we? We've got to stick together. We're an awesome community. It's full of some amazing people. And these Monday Night Live chats are because you lot keep coming here and you keep making them fun and interesting and entertaining for others to watch down the line as well. So I'm going to be trying to do more live streams. I'm going to be trying to do more videos now as the country goes into lockdown. I'm certainly not going out in an evening. I'm certainly not traveling with my day job. My day job is a bit up in the air at the moment as well. More news on that when I can tell you about it. However, tonight, let's crack on. The subject for tonight's chat is about long-term projects, which is quite apt, bearing in mind a lot of us are all really going to be kind of confined to home. Some of us will still have to go to work. Anybody that is travelling and still having to go out to their place of work, no matter what you do, whether you work in a hospital, whether you're a delivery driver, whether you work in a supermarket, whether you're providing emergency care, whatever that is, thank you very much for what you do to keep everybody else safe. Please stay safe yourselves. But we're still going to have a bit more time on our hands, I think, these days when it comes to weekends, when it comes to evenings, and for some of us as well during the days too. So let's see what we've got in the chat, and we'll get on chatting about long-term projects. We'll find out what I want to talk about tonight is what my long-term projects are going to be now that I'm kind of confined, if you like. What's your long-term projects going to be? And we'll kind of start that off there, eh? So we had William Jones in nice and early tonight, saying he's working from home at the morning. He's got ranks of EM4 orcs. EM4 orcs in front of me. What's that with EM4? I don't know what they are, mate, if you're around. As soon as you're on, the work gets put aside and then orcs get cleaned. Ever tried to clean an orc? It ain't easy. So you're working from home and you're kind of doing a little bit of hobby on the side. Nice one, mate. Peter Nicholas says, I can hardly wait for some good old hobby time tonight. Well, Peter, welcome to the positive and happy place of the world at this moment in time. It might not be in a couple of hours' time, but it is now. Steve Evans says, evening all, I'm also working on Orcs Go Riders for his slow grow army. Well, slow grow wise, you're always a bit faster than most people anyway, but we're certainly going to have some time to get them armies done now, assuming that you've got the models at home, I suppose. William saying he loves orcs. This is an urgent project though. Cheap painted as quickly as possible. A placeholder for a mostly mantic army that will receive far more care, but trying to ram these through as soon as possible. Well, let's see where they are. Make sure you get some pictures up on the Facebook group, buddy. We've got Joss in the chat as well. It says, evening everyone, just finished the Plague Marines from Dark Imperial box. Yeah, I've still got mine as well, actually. Now start painting with the first set of 6 halberdiers from Joan of Arc. Now, Joan of Arc is definitely a long-term project. I think if I was on lockdown for the next 6 years, they wouldn't get all of that painted. David Moffat was in as well, saying, oh, heck, I forgot about today's show. How dare you forget about today's show, mate? Gary Powell there. Good evening, Gary, mate. As I said before, I hope you and your daughter are very well as well, mate. And you're stuck in front of the laptop and not playing Star Wars Legion. Well, it's nice to have you in the chat, mate, even if you can't get your gaming in. David saying howdy there. We've got the wonderful Christian in as well, saying don't forget to hit that like button while you're waiting. Much appreciated. We've also got Mark Corley in there as well, saying he's working on a long-term project as well. Some trolls for a slow grow Kings and Orc army. Orcs are getting a bit of love tonight, aren't they? Fancy seeing Everybody gets stuck at home and all them orc armies come out, like all them armies that take far too long to paint. They're all coming out the woodwork now. And we've got Busey in as well. Good evening, Busey. How are you doing? Claudio's in as well. Nice to see you, Claudio. We've got Aggression all the way from Teesside. Hello, fella. We've got Richard Smith in as well. Palmsy's in, sending you all positives vibes wherever you are. And to you, mate. I know Spain's been in a bit more of a lockdown for a little while longer. And I know you and your lovely partner have kind of locked down apart from each other. So my heart goes out to you, mate, and to Joanna as well. And I hope you two are both very, very well. We've got, where are we at? We've got Duffy Makowski saying greetings from an essential employee in Levertown. Well, thank you very much for everything you're doing for your local community, buddy. It really is appreciated, I'm sure. King John says, woohoo, ready for the show, still making deliveries in the Texas Panhandle. Thank you again to you as well, mate, for everything you're doing. Keep nice and safe, buddy. King John saying hello to everybody. It's Big Ian is in as well. Hello. We've got Glenn Griffin in saying hello to the BlackJackers. Hello, Glenn Griffin. We've also got Al Krabby in. It says, even all worst case scenario for me. Worst case scenario for me, this really look forward to a bit of chill out though. I feel for you, buddy, actually. And I think at some point, we might touch on it tonight, but if not, we definitely think we need to have a bit of a chat about when it comes to kind of community support, mental health, looking after each other, just kind of, you know, getting everybody through this, because we're in kind of completely unprecedented waters now. There's never been anything like this in my lifetime, and I doubt there'll ever be anything like this ever again as well. Like my 3-year-old at the minute is just completely oblivious to it. He's off nursery. He thinks every day is a weekend. Me and my wife are trying to work at home while we're trying to look after him as well at the same time. He can't get his head around it, mate. So yes, we all need to pull together and get through these tough times. We've got Mark Berraclough in. Good evening, Mark. How are you? Derek Hodges in as well. Good evening, Derek. Peter saying the supermarkets are not that empty that I need to eat McDonald's yet. I'm quite fortunate that the local supermarkets to me don't seem to have been kind of ransacked. I've seen some horrible pictures of just completely empty shelves, which look awful. I'm quite fortunately in my local area, for whatever reason, people seem to be sort of a little less kind of panic buying, and I think we're going to be okay certainly for well maybe until tonight's announcement. But yeah, I think hopefully everything will be fine. Nick Yellen's in, says good evening, folks. Hope everyone's keeping well and keeping safe, and to you too, Nick. Palmsy saying Andy acting like he hasn't wanted to be confined at home for the last 6 months. Do you know what it is, mate? I've got really mixed feelings about it, because obviously, of course, I want to get on and do more kind of content and that. However, the idea was I'd be at home doing more content while my little boy was at nursery, giving me the time to do it. The difference I've got now is I'm looking after a 3-year-old when I'm at home, so I've got even less time than I would have done normally. Because if I had like a 14-year-old or something, they'd kind of look after themselves, kind of stuff, wouldn't they? They watch a bit of YouTube and they play games and they do some schoolwork and stuff. The 3-year-old who doesn't realise that all the soft plays in the world have closed, and he can't go at the swimming pool, and he can't just go out and kind of play in the park and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit taxing at the minute. And my wife's job, my job, the day job I've got, I work in design and kind of product development. All of our projects have just been knocked on the head at the minute. So my job's it's died off a little bit. It's pretty quiet. However, my wife works in sales, selling toilet rolls. So as you can imagine, she's a hell of a lot busier at the moment. So when we're both at home during the day, trying to look after the little one, as you can imagine, most of that's fallen on my shoulders at the moment. And that's absolutely fine. That's what we do. We're a team. We're parents. You know what I mean? But obviously, it's not leaving me a lot of free time, buddy. Where we at? Richard Smith saying big up to all the awesome YouTubers churning out the content and keeping us saying you guys are incredible. Obviously there's loads of folks that's really kind of trying to pump some stuff out. I've obviously been chatting with my wife. This is obviously going to be my full-time job in the very near future. This is an opportunity now to try and kickstart that a bit earlier. We're trying to work out how we go around that. Do I get some time on the evenings to make a start on it? Kind of do I get a couple of hours during the day where I can maybe squeeze a live stream in? So you should start to see stuff picking up from me as well in the coming days and weeks. I'd love to do something every day if possible, even if it's just something that if you're not around when I'm doing a live stream, for example, you can pop it on later on in the night and do a bit of painting. I've got a pile of stuff we'll be talking about tonight with long-term projects that I'll be sitting painting. I've got my camera set up here above me now, so that basically we'll be able to do some really nice some kind of like live stream painting stuff. So you'll be able to see my face and we can have a chat. You'll also see what I'm painting and stuff. We'll get some people, other YouTubers and some community folks Skyping in as well. And we'll try and keep stuff going. We want to kind of support each other. We want to make sure that people don't feel isolated. They don't feel on their own. So yeah, thank you very much to all the folks that are pumping out the content. We got to pull through this, haven't we? We've got to stick together. Where we at? Tony Howell says, evening you lovely people. Hello you lovely Tony Howell. Neil Anderson in saying helloing as well. David Moffat saying EM4 are the best orcs for the price. I don't know what EM4 are, mate. Is it a company EM4? I'm not sure about it. Claudio's saying to Al there, hope it somehow turns out well. If it helps, everyone here is here for you. 100% mate. And it goes double for you as well, Al. You know how to get in touch with me, mate. Reach out. If you want to have a natter once a day, if you just want to give me a ring and just kind of chat to somebody for 10 minutes a day, drop me a message and I'll send you my number and we can kind of like, we can be what's the word I'm looking for? Isolation buddies, mate. We'll get through it together, all of us will. Richard Smith saying, got plenty of Nighthaunt, half the chaos from Shadow Spear, and some Iron Golems and Warcry to crack on with as well, the Furies. We've got Future Boy, Adam Edgar, good day fella. Adam, absolute legend, recently shaved off all of his hair for charity. And to be fair, he had quite a lot of hair. He had long hair kind of tied back in a ponytail. He shaved it all off for charity. Adam, with everything that's going on, mate, that was an absolutely huge kind of thing to do, and huge congratulations, mate, for that. Anybody that is interested in sponsoring him for that as well, it'll still be open. You can still sponsor for that charity as well. So we'll sort out a link to that somehow, buddy. Mark Corley, nice to see the love for the Orcs tonight. We got Mike G in as well. Hello, Mike G. Or we did before you just bounced off the top of my screen there. He says he's got 40. Where is it? That's further down the chat. Wow, it did jump up. There we are. It says here, I'm stay-at-home caregiver for Grandma, so we are keeping it extra careful. Well, yes, you stay safe, mate, and I hope everyone at home is safe too. Mark saying, Brothers and Badgers started with a warband, starting the second one tonight, and I think about making a board. Not sure if Luke's APS is still being able to take orders. To be honest, the news in the UK is still relatively new. I had a very brief chat with the guys in our Discord chat from the Patreons about what does this mean for kind of online stores? Are they still classed as non-essential? Are those folks still going to be going to work? I think my gut feeling from what it means now is we're probably not going to see a lot of online orders of stuff for the next few weeks, I think. So I think whatever you've got at home is kind of going to be your stuff from a UK perspective. I don't know how this is around the rest of the world at the moment. But yeah, I think that's why long-term projects that we're going to talk about tonight will probably focus on stuff you already have. And we'll kind of take it from there. And then hopefully by the time you start to make a dent in that, we'll start to get through kind of some of these lockdowns, and we might start to relax some of the deliveries of things and stuff. VJ Morphson as well. Good morning, VJ. How are you doing? He says, Daddy duty this morning, so we'll be in and out. Appreciate you coming in at all, mate. Thank you very much. Pomsy says, thanks a lot from both of us. You're welcome, mate. I can only imagine what it's like. You know, at the end of the day, we're in an awful situation. I'm really fortunate that obviously that my wife and my little ones here, my older boys, I don't know how to handle it, if I'm honest. I mean, they're obviously like live with their mum and their mum's boyfriend. They see their grandma quite often as well, who lives in the same street as them. I'm a little bit nervous about kind of risking them and risking us and stuff with travelling backwards and forwards. And I think with the lockdown now, it's going to be Skype, I think, for a little bit with my older lads. I mean, they are nearly 18. It's less of a kind of a drain on them seeing at night, not seeing them. But I think we're going to have to kind of do it by Skype, I think, to keep it. But you guys, obviously, out on your own as well, I really do feel for you both. Claudio says, long term, Kings of War probably, but realistically right now it's going to be Star Wars Legion, buying piece by piece and painting them instantly. That was my condition for myself. I was going to suggest as part of tonight's live stream that we might want to start buying some things in for kind of planning for long-term stuff. You know, is there that army you've always wanted to paint, but you know you prefer to play games and you don't paint that much. But the way the kind of the rules are changing at the moment, maybe buying stuff piece by piece might not be an option for a little while. David saying Danny Morph's in the house. Nick Two Jokes Yelling says, I hope you appreciate the name change. Thank you very much, Nick Two Jokes Yelling. Anybody that doesn't get that, we had some jokes in the Facebook group the other day, just to lighten the mood a little bit. Nick obviously had to have 2 jokes rather than just 1. Hence, Nick Two Jokes. Mike says he's got 40 slave orcs primed for his Abyssal Dwarf army. Very nice, Mike. Palmsy said he's working on Blackstone and Kings of War starter while he's locked down. Trouble is, I don't know if I'll be able to afford anything else once I've finished. Things are going to get a little bit a bit tight and stuff. But I think what we can do as a community, I think we also need to look after our friends and the folks in the community. And it might be when we can get out to start shipping things around. Maybe we've got some stuff that we've been digging out. We've got time to have a little bit of a hobby clear out. Maybe there's some stuff you don't want any longer. Maybe it might be nice to send it to a few folks who maybe through this whole virus thing have maybe lost their jobs, maybe don't have, not able to earn during this time, and maybe we can start to look after each other a little bit. And maybe that's something that we talk about over the coming days and weeks as well. David said, has anyone else been considering the Paint All the Minis online convention? I heard the podcast about it that Dan did. I'm still not fully understanding what it is, if I'm perfectly honest, but it sounds like a really, really good, what's it called? Like a good idea, should I say? Nick said he's going to be cracking on with his Night Stalker army. Neil saying, where do you shop, Andy? To be honest, mate, there's a Sainsbury's right next to me, and there's a Lidl right next to me. And I've not struggled to get milk, I've not struggled to get bread, I've not struggled to get fresh fruit and veg. I went out and bought meat at the weekend to make a Sunday lunch. The only thing they don't have is toilet rolls. It just so happens that both me and my wife work for a toilet roll company, so we're not short on toilet rolls. So the only thing we can't buy, we don't need to buy, to be fair. So, Paul says, that's funny, I assumed the supermarkets were always wrecked in the northeast. They might be now McDonald's is closed. That might have been the tipping point. Tony saying we're all in it together and we do what we can to help and support. 100%, mate, we will. Steve says, you're a lucky man, my store has been a nightmare. Yeah, there's a few people have said this to me as well, and I don't know why, but we've really fortunately, we've not struggled to get, like, things like, obviously, like pasta and rice seem to have been, like, kind of ransacked and stuff. Cereal seems to have taken a bit of a dent, but I'm not having any struggle buying milk. I'm not having any struggle buying bread at the minute. So I really do feel for people that have obviously got it a lot harder than I have at the minute anyway. We've got Red Rose Wargaming. Hello, Anna. Anybody that has not checked out Red Rose Wargaming's latest YouTube video, after the stream, of course, head over there, subscribe to the channel. Anna and the team there have built this fantastic Warcry Coliseum kind of fighting pit. You have to go and check it out. It is awesome. Please go and do it. The effort alone is worth going to check it out. Yeah, Anna's since been watching the news as well. Yeah, I kind of watched it and then dove straight into the stream, to be fair. VJ saying, yeah, same boat now, Andy. I was expecting to have time to work in the studio on both professional development and personal projects. Now I'm daddy daycare. I don't get that. You got to roll with the punches, unfortunately, mate, haven't you? Yeah. VJ saying his wife's a nurse, where her profession comes first right now. Yeah, mate, we've all got to... The world's in a different place now, and I think we're all reassessing kind of really what is important. All those people, the millionaires... It's just tough luck, you know. Your money doesn't buy you kind of a way out of this anymore now. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter what your job is. We're all in this together now. We've got Jack saying hello, Andy, and hello all. Hello. Steve says some customers just don't get it. Hopefully after a day they will. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed they will. Some of the stuff I've seen over the weekend, and I don't want to kind of get into this too much, but some of the stuff I've seen over the weekend, I've just been watching the news tonight. They were showing like kind of beaches in Sydney, about how busy they were, like yesterday. Like it was as if nothing was wrong. They were absolutely packed. People having parties on the beach, and the amount of people that were out kind of around parks in London and kind of just doing. It's like it just hasn't seemed to sink in for people. I think that's why we're in lockdown now, because people couldn't take that advice, to be fair. Christian was saying, I said in the Discord, but I'll say it here too. If anyone needs a chat about anything at any time, they can reach out to me either on DM or in Facebook or on Twitter. 100%, it goes for the same for me as well. Honestly, like, I have to look after a 3-year-old, but it doesn't mean I can't kind of make a phone call. I can't send a text message. Please, tonight, over the coming weeks, over the coming months, I'm going to feel isolated as well, so I'll be reaching out to people. Please don't feel that you're bothering me. Please don't feel you're bothering others in the community. Let's really galvanise. We're a great community. Let's galvanise ourselves. Let's really stay strong, and let's come out of this even stronger. Peter saying, shout out to the nurses and others keeping the community going. 100%, mate. VG says he's been running, or he had been, till I jumped up the top of my screen. Where are we at? I don't know where it's gone now. Let's go back. Steve, that's Steve there. Claudio, wow, there's loads of chat tonight. He's been running FaceTime and Facebook video chats with his single friends in the evening that are self-isolating at home so they don't get too stir-crazy. I think the longer it goes on, mate, the more important that kind of stuff's going to get. Deep Red's in, hail and well met legacy, as he says. Claudio saying, if you want to do some Dead Zone content, the UK Vice Champion is always here for you. Buddy, this might be the opportunity for me, long-term project, to get all my Dead Zone stuff painted. Deep Red saying, he crack on with the Oathmark elves now. Steve saying, had a FaceTime game of Kings of War with a mate who's self-isolated on Sunday. Was great fun and well appreciated by my mate. I honestly, this kind of goes back to what I've chatted about before in live streams about how sometimes it's less about the game you play and it's more about the people you play with, and as long as you have a good time, then the game's good, kind of thing. You can make this stuff work, especially if it just means you actually get some FaceTime with people, because the last thing we want is people to feel isolated from each other. Palmsy's there saying, trying to come into the Discord more amongst all my other stuff so we can always catch up in there. Yes, please, mate. Yes, please. And Palmsy saying that Colosseum was something else. Yes, it was. Adam saying, thank you. To be honest, the patients fighting cancer need our money more than ever. The Leukemia Foundation village where out of town, where patients stay, was shut down because of the virus. So yeah, so this was for leukemia. I thought it was, mate, but I didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah, it was for leukemia care. We'll put a link up in the Facebook group if anybody wants. If let's get this in the right order. If Christian can put a link up to the Facebook group later on tonight, or if Adam wants to do it while we're on the chat, he wants to put a link up to the charity that he's been raising money for, please feel free to check it out, folks. I appreciate money might be a little bit tight at the minute and things like that. However, for those that can afford to donate to a really worthy cause, please do. VJ saying he's got a massive pile of grey shame there as well. David saying, I tossed a link up to the Discord for you to view at your leisure. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Jack saying he's trying to find one of those Colosseums now. I found one, mate, and I almost ordered it, and now it probably won't get shipped out. But I think I will pick one up at some point. Jack saying, if you're using Skype, try downloading House Party, as you can play games over Skype. Yeah, I've got Tabletop Simulator and stuff like that as well, so I'm looking to try and see about that. I've always got Warhammer Underworlds online as well to spend a bit more time with. I also want to spend a little bit more time with Call of Duty, what's it called? Warfare, isn't it? The new one, I forget what the new thing's called. My mate Jason's obviously playing a lot of it. He keeps trying to get me onto it. I haven't even got my PlayStation plugged in at the minute since I did all this studio again, so I need to do that now. Mark saying, Microsoft Teams is better than Skype. We use it a lot with work, mate, to be fair. Palmsy saying, stay in, mate, don't feel bad about it. The right thing to do is stay away from people for now, even loved ones. Yeah, I agree, mate. It's a hard thing to do, and I feel bad for the kids about it, but I'm sure they're kind of old enough to understand this, or I hope that they understand it anyway. Fumble saying hello from a busy Blood Bowl site land. I assume it's very busy at the minute, mate. I'm assuming it is. VG saying, I hate to be one of those people who only buy new stuff when they finish what they have. For years, we've been getting flack for hoarding this stuff. This is what we've been preparing for, folks. That's what it was. Palmsy saying, bloody great idea. Not for me, just in general. Tony says he's got his Slow Grow and Munda generic sci-fi projects in the line. But he had them planned as well before it all happened. And Steve's also saying he's got more than enough stuff stashed away. Have we got any new names in the chat here before I move on and we start talking about the topic, because I'm getting sort of sidetracked now a little bit. We've got Chris Warden's just come in as well. Hello, Chris. VJ saying the people on Bondi Beach was stupid. Yeah, I just saw them pictures tonight. Neil saying he's kept his kids off today as well. Day one of homeschool. Yes, mate. I think you and a few now. How we are. Bloggy's in as well, saying hope you guys and girls are safe and healthy. Yes, as for long-term projects, it's going to be Titans, nights and cars for days. War Forges in, he says, we get more videos. Is toilet roll essential goods? Toilet rolls is classed as essential goods. And I got a letter from work basically to hand to my son's nursery to say that I was classed as an essential worker and that he could kind of have nursery cover if I wanted it. But to be honest, while toilet rolls are essential, I don't personally feel that my job is classed as essential at this time. As I said before, I work in product development. We are not developing any products at the minute. I can't kind of send my team into the factories to do trial work. Even if I could, we wouldn't get the trial time on the production lines because we're having to keep making toilet rolls all day and all night. So I think it's disgraceful for me to send my son to nursery. Plus, the fact is, I wouldn't want him there anyway. We have to lock down. We have to distance from people. So yeah, it is classed as an essential good, but my job isn't classed as essential. That's for sure. Right, we got. Have we got any new? James Taylor's in as well. We got Andrew Fairbanks as well, and Tom the Bomb. Right, I've kind of rambled for way too long. I think the announcement thing from the Prime Minister kind of caught me off guard a little bit just before I came on the chat. So I think I felt like I needed to get that stuff out. We'll talk about long-term projects. So what have I got for long-term projects that I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks? Well, I'm just kind of looking around my room now. I've got my Hellboy board game there. I haven't painted any of that yet. So I'm starting to think about, do I want to set myself little projects to maybe take sort of board game with miniatures and finish up the painting up those sets. Like my Kings of War stuff, the slow grow stuff, I'm going to very quickly run out of Kings of War stuff. My intention was, in order to force me to stick to the schedule with the slow grow, was to paint what I had, and when I was getting ready for the next unit, I'll buy the next units. And that way I'd keep motivating myself rather than having a pile of plastic. So my Kings of War army might come to a bit of a stall at the minute. I will 100% catch up on it when I can order more stuff, but I think it's going to start to stall a little bit. However, I'm not short of plastic and metal to paint, to be fair. So I've got my Batman Gotham City Chronicles I can see over there as well. I still haven't finished painting all of my Walking Dead stuff. I've got my Hellboy game down here as well. I've got mountains of stuff that I can be painting. But I'm starting to think I might look at some of my board games and set myself a little project to kind of paint that box set and then move on to the next one. So I think that's going to be my plan. Let me know in the chat, what have you got that's kind of been on a back burner for a while? What have you got that you're thinking, actually, yeah, I'm going to have some time now. I'm going to kind of set myself a little kind of milestone and I'm going to paint that. Because I think what we should do is we should get together, whether it's in the Discord chat for the Patreons, whether it's in the Facebook group for other folks. We should start to kind of motivate each other. And this slow grow campaign for Kings of War can almost morph into just slow grow for motivation. I've been doing a lot of stuff kind of recently and like over the last 12 months about kind of mental health and about happiness and what motivates people and what motivates you to kind of away from kind of anxiety and away from depression, that kind of stuff. And one of the things that we all share is a sense of achievement from completing a project. It doesn't matter what that project is. It's the feeling you get when you finish something. And I think that's what I want to do during this kind of lockdown period, is rather than just painting the odd miniature from lots of different things and just almost kind of willy-nilly just painting the random things, I want to set myself little milestones. And it might be, this week I'm going to paint these 20 miniatures from this board game or whatever it is. And I'm going to set myself a target. The project might be, I'm going to paint one miniature on average every day over the month. It could be anything like that. But I'm going to set myself some like little milestones and some little goals. So in the chat tonight, what are you going to set yourself? What's your long-term plans? What's that project you've been putting off? What's that kind of, we're not going to be getting out to play games so much. There's going to be ways we can do it online and stuff, but let's be honest, we're going to be spending a lot of time at home. So let me know what your plans are. We'll dive back into the chat and have a quick look as well. Tony there saying, I owe you a voice call. We need to have a catch up now. Seems like a good time. 100%, mate. Like I said, this is going to become my full-time job very soon. And I'm used to working with teams of people. I'm used to having a team of people that report into me, and they've got lots of stuff on. So I'm speaking to people all day, every day, all over the world, to be fair. and I'm going to go from that to basically I'm going to be working at home. All my work is going to kind of involve me and me alone, really, apart from the odd bit when I can eventually get out and visit kind of games companies and things. So it's going to be quite isolated. Anyway, this is almost me going into training for that. So yeah, I'm going to be reaching out to people during that time. There's going to be times, I'm going to be sitting I've been working on my own in here all day, and there's going to be, I'm going to want to reach out and kind of chat to people. So why not start that now? Why not start that now? Chris says there, it's a pile of potential. 100% it is, mate. Al said he's been playing Modern Warfare Warzone. That was the one I was trying to think of, mate. What do you play on, Al? Do you play on Xbox, PlayStation? Do you play on PC? James Taylor's saying, howdy, mate. Hope that Geordies are doing well. That's just chopped off there. Yes, no, Jordan. Well, this Geordie's doing well, mate. Anyway, Andrew says he counts his 2,800 models, 73,000 point Age of Sigmar collection as one giant project. I would be overwhelmed with that, mate. Neil saying long-term project is an entire Primaris Marine chapter, all named and detailed. That would be amazing to see, mate, when it's all done. I would definitely have to break it down into small chunks, mate, though, as well, to be fair. Tom saying hello, he's late there. That's all right, buddy. Neil saying I can trial any new toilet paper. If there was any new for you to trial, mate, I would send it your way. Simon saying, hey guys, getting into some of my mates' Imperial Assault minis, shut down for 4 weeks in New Zealand now. Yeah, I feel like the entire world's getting to a similar place now. We've all been kind of staggered at different levels, and it feels like we're all getting to that kind of lockdown around a similar time now. Simon says he's thinking about Hellboy 2 after those Imperial Assault ones are done. VJ says, Andy, time to get that Hero Quest fully painted. You know what is it? They're there. I can see them. I've took all the minis out of the box because some of them need stripping when I painted off when I was like 10-year-old. I don't think I've got anything to strip them with now. That's the problem. If I can get my hands on something to strip them with, that might be a perfect project, mate. And he's saying, yeah, before you give it away, I'm still planning on giving it away. If I can get to 100 Patreons, I will give away my copy of Hero Quest fully painted. But yes, I'm not at 100 Patreons yet. I think I'm at 48 at the moment. We've had a couple of Patreons drop away. Completely understandable with the way things are at the moment. Family comes first, and I don't want anybody kind of giving me money that they can't spare. But yeah, over time, hopefully things are going to get back to normal over time. And yeah, 100 Patreons, Hero Quest, my original Hero Quest giveaway. Richard said, I've got a disgusting amount of old metal miniatures that I really should sort through and get rid of. I had a good sort through, so I cleaned all the garage out at the weekend and went through all the kind of stuff that I packed up when we moved house years ago, old minis in boxes and stuff like that. And I found all my old Malifaux stuff, and I found my old How to Paint Citadel miniatures books and all that kind of stuff. Vijay saying, by the way, if I win Andy's Hero Quest, I will in turn give my copy away to a fellow BlackJacker. Although mine won't be painted. Nice one, mate. Busey saying, hoping at some point you still do another build video like you did with the table. Maybe a DIY paint rack. I'll have to think about that. Because what now I've got this kind of studio all set up, it's not used for anything except me painting miniatures and filming stuff in here. So I've got plenty of space. I've got a big 6x4 table in front of me that you can't see. What I'll probably do actually over the next few days or weeks, I'll do a bit of a studio tour so you can see the area that I'm filming in now. It's thanks to all the Patreons and the support that they've given me that all of this kit's kind of come together now. So I'll show you the area. I've got a lovely big workspace here that I can kind of be doing builds on. And since at the weekend, since I cleaned all the garage out and sorted all that out, I've got a huge big area now in the garage. Should I be doing any kind of dirty work, like sprinkling sand on kind of tables and stuff, making tables and all that kind of stuff. Maybe supplies might be a bit difficult at the minute, but yeah, we'll do some more build stuff. I enjoy doing that, and I'm not very good at it. Which I guess sometimes translates over because then it becomes more achievable for folks that maybe think that they can't do it. Where are we at? Duffy's saying his orcs have been involved in a long-term project. I think there's a lot of people's stuff being involved in long-term projects. And VJ says, unless this lockdown goes for more than 6 months. Oh, I don't even want to think that long. Christopher says, everything still working, so still no time more than usual. Do you not have your evenings now, though, mate? Like, would you not normally be out socialising or seeing friends in evenings? Are you not getting that time back and weekend time where you'd normally be out doing stuff? Palmsy saying he's attitudes to pick up whatever hobby stuff you fancy doing at the time. And if you want to veg out and watch Netflix, do that. Put yourself first. Yeah, I would say put yourself first, but I would also say as well, don't watch too much news. Don't be constantly on your phone looking at all of this news, because let's be honest, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's really easy. If you feel isolated, if you feel a little bit kind of down and you're seeing all this bad news coming through, it's really easy to kind of send yourself in a bit of a spiral. So don't veg too much. Get a bit of exercise. Split your day up. Take breaks. Get outside and get some air. Even if it's just get to your front door, get you into your garden or whatever your kind of space you've got. Get a window open, and just kind of keep moving. The last thing you want to do, especially those folks that basically have been sent home from work and can't work from home because of the stuff that's shutting down. It's really easy to get really down and get into a bit of a dark place, especially currently not being able to socialise. So yeah, by all means, look after yourself, but don't veg too much, eh? Heatherwell's in as well, says cheers Andy and crowd. Hello, buddy. Tom the Bomb says Alien versus Predator minigame. Oh, nice one, mate. That's what your plans are. Heatherwell there saying finally managed this week to sit and watch. Nice to have you in, fella. Parsival's in as well. Hello, Parsival. Where are we at now? Al Krabby says he's worked on his hobby space in his shed all afternoon. I'll be in there tomorrow as well, building it out of junk basically, but I'm enjoying it. If it works for you, mate, it doesn't matter what it's made out of. It's just, I mean, what you see, most of this is kind of old furniture. I'm scattered around, stuff that used to be in my garage. These wooden or this wooden crate here, you know, it used to be in the shed kind of thing, full of kind of like kids' toys and stuff. You use what you've got, don't you? Tim saying, hey Andy and all, hope you're all safe and well, chaps and chapesses. Hello Tim, how are you doing, mate? Christian saying his back burner is Mythic Battles Pantheons. I've heard nothing but good things about that game and have no idea what it's about. He says the Critical Role minis need painting as well. He's Walking Dead, Hellboy, Core Space, Kings of War, plus all the stuff he's been 3D printing. The stuff you've been 3D printing, mate, looks phenomenal. I'm really impressed with just how quickly you've got to grips with that. David Moffat saying he's got enough stuff to last at least a year. Enjoy fitting from project to project, so tend not to run out of motivation. I tend to flit from project to project as well, to kind of keep me motivated. But I think I want to try something a bit different and try and focus on one thing for a period of time and try and finish something and then move on to the next one rather than flitting around too much. Hethwell says long term he's painting ships for Black Seas, Oak and Iron, Kiss Me Hardy, anything Age of Sail, and learning Hex and Counter, Last 100 Yards and Wings of the Motherland. That's a real mix of stuff there, buddy. Al says he's an Xbox guy. I've got an Xbox as well, mate, to be fair, and I think if I'm right, I think that the Call of Duty thing's free, isn't it? Like to play the Battle Royale thing. So we'll have to get a game on the go, mate. We'll have to get a game on at some point. Tony says, I think the slow grow kind of set the benchmark. We could do micro challenges that are all inclusive during these trying times. Yeah, definitely. It's not about I'm not putting challenges in place to make people feel bad, but in a time when maybe motivation might be a little bit lower or but when there's no end to stuff happening, it'd be nice to have some kind of little milestones to look forward to. Richard says, "Don't use Dettol, too valuable now." Yeah, I might have to look in the garage and in the shed and see if I've got any kind of paint stripper or something like that. See what I can get my hands on. And to be fair, if supermarkets are still sell that kind of like decorating type stuff, I might be able to get some kind of white spirits or something. VJ said all these projects are long term, so we can list them, but it'll take up the whole chat. Mark said he would like to try his hand making terrain, but I don't think I have the materials. I am going to set a challenge up. The monthly challenge, I think, for this month or for next month will probably be a terrain making challenge, but using household materials, using the stuff you've got around the house, the empty cereal boxes, the toilet roll tubes, should you have any, the coffee cans, all that kind of stuff. So I think you'll have the materials, because I think we should do something about using what you've got lying around the house, especially when ordering stuff might be a little bit difficult. Gary's back, says, did I miss much? I don't know, mate. I have no idea what you missed. Bloggy saying, Andy, I don't know if you heard the LA Rams debuted a new logo today. I haven't seen it yet, mate. I know we lost Todd Gurley this week, which I was a bit surprised at, but it didn't have the best season last year, to be fair. I haven't seen the new logo, mate. I will have to go and check it out. Main project will be Conflict 47, Tim says, and Bolt Action Soviet Army, and also Burrows and Badges and Warcry Warbands. Andy saying, hey kids, hope everyone is all good. Hello, Andy Smith. VJ says he's cut my news back to 2 times a day. I've tried to, I've got an iPhone, and the news feeds are basically like sort of determined about on what you're reading, and I can't tell whether there's only coronavirus stuff in the news, or if it's because I'm clicking on coronavirus stuff, it's feeding me more coronavirus stuff. I'm going to try to not read the news articles. I might watch the news on an evening, watch the Prime Minister's like announcements on an evening, but I'm going to try and just kind of avoid the news because it's never good news. It's not telling me they found a cure. It's not telling me kind of this is all over. I kind of know what to expect, so I need to stop reading it, to be fair. Lee's in as well. Hello, Lee. How are you doing, fella? He says, howdy all, a bit late. Got absorbed building some Caradron, starting on a long-term project. That's what we're talking about, mate. So good for you to come in and have a bit chat about that as well. VJ saying he's only using Facebook for chatting as well, for community stuff. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way, mate. Peter says he's determined to learn to play AOS, so I'm planning my Paint His Nighthawk collection and some of those Stormcast too. That's his long-term project. Aggression says Hellboy's on his painting table as well. He's been sharing some progress on Facebook. I'll need to check them out, mate. David said his wife's always on her phone absorbing the news. It's good and bad. I think it's hard not to get kind of pulled into it, but just consuming the news constantly, especially if you've got too much time on your hands, I think it can only be a bad thing. I think it can only be sad. It can only be upsetting news. It's not good news. We're not hearing any kind of sort of uplifting stories, that kind of stuff. Christopher said, I'm only home on the weekends. Also, we're moving house soon too. I have no idea where you are, buddy. I remember you telling me before, but our house move's still happening. Is all that kind of stuff still on? I know in the UK they announced basically all kind of events, like all weddings have been cancelled now. There's no weddings to take place. The only funerals will take place, obviously, but no weddings, no christenings, all that kind of stuff. They've also stopped all sort of religious gatherings as well, so churches are closed now as well. VJ says it's just a stream of negativity right now, like Twitter is all the time. I don't get Twitter. I've tried to break into Twitter and stuff and try to kind of grow a bit of a community there and trying to kind of pull people in from different parts of the tabletop world. I don't understand Twitter, I'll be completely honest. Bloggy saying there, Gary, I didn't know, just saw a notification for the article on my phone. I missed Gary's comment there somewhere. Busey saying, I realised yesterday I need to limit looking at the news and TV sites. Almost drove me insane in less than a day. Yeah, and it's gonna get worse, mate. So yeah, try and pull back from that. VJ saying almost finished his Warcry terrain. Will be done by the end of the week. I see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm looking forward to seeing the completed pictures, mate. Dave Dog or Doggy? I said if Ant and Deck get into Warhammer hobbying at home via YouTube, the hobby would go stellar. Maybe that's what they'll do, mate. Who knows? Deep Red says, when I get on these Oathmark elves done, I suppose I could paint the minis in my Battle Law 2nd edition game. I've always secretly fancied putting some slap on them. It's making me think, I've obviously got Silver Tower unpainted. I could get that done. I've got Space Hulk unpainted. That could all get done. There's a I'm just kind of glancing over now. What have I got? I've still got Necromunda. All my Necromunda stuff's not painted either. James says, meths to strip plastic minis. I might be able to get some meths. I might be able to get some of that. Mike G says he's painted his Kill Team terrain from the base box over the weekend. Only had it 2 years. I painted mine up pretty quick. I like that. Skullmunch said, even all, don't worry about playing COD Warzone. It's cross-play so you can play with people on other consoles. I didn't know that, mate. First of all, welcome to the chat. And second of all, thank you for telling me that. I didn't realise. James says, not white spirits, that's for oil paints, not water-based. Sorry, mate, I meant clean spirits. I've used clean spirits in the past. It's the water-based stuff. Pomsy saying it's easier to fall into a deep place without a routine. 100%, mate, yeah. And I'm kind of... I've got an important meeting tomorrow at work. Those in the Patreon chat will know what that meeting's about. And then after that, I kind of feel like I need to set my mental path straight and kind of keep on that routine and set myself a bit of a routine as well. It's hard to get into a routine at the moment, but I think it's important these days. Gary says he likes the terrain challenge. Yeah, why not? It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? We're going to have empty boxes and stuff lying around the house and stuff, so why the hell not? The chat's quite lively today. It keeps jumping off the top of me, so I'm trying to see where we're up to. Big Ian says he's got no long-term projects, just waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 to come out. Yeah, let's hope all that kind of stuff still stays on track, mate. Busey saying Porno Premium is free at the moment, but wouldn't recommend watching too much. Yes, especially with the liberal situation. G Daddy Gamers, hello, mate. He says he's working on his Speed Freaks box set. Poms, he said the idea of passing on models, etc., to people who might not need them is fantastic as well. Yeah, we all have stuff we're never going to get round to. Let's kind of share the love and make sure that like nobody feels kind of left out. Wow, am I that far back in the chat? Where we at? Shaggy saying, there you go, Andy. How about a live terrain challenge? You have to make a piece of terrain from stuff you find around the house, and you let the followers choose the theme. A live challenge. Ooh. It might be really dull to watch, mate, but yeah, I'm up for it. Ben Davies in. Hello, Ben. Says definitely up for making some terrain this month. Want to make a start on Armies on Parade once he's finished his bush time. Yes. VJ says, I do RSS feeds in the morning of reputable sources and then do nightly news update on TV. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and just kind of do the once a day thing, I think. Anna's saying she's got a shed load of stuff to paint up for Warcry, but long term, I'll be working on Warcry short story as I've been wanting to write one for ages. Anna, you do it, please. I would love to read it. There's not enough Warcry short stories. Heathwell says, do I hear rumours of a comeback of Man of War in a new edition, or did I dream it? I haven't heard it, mate. I have no idea whether you dreamed it or not. And Anna says, I work for emergency services, so won't be off work though, so probably have less time to work on stuff. Well, thank you for everything you're doing, keeping people safe. But yeah, I guess it's going to be tough. I suppose when weekends come around, or when your normal, the time off you'd normally have, are you going to be working more now? Is that kind of how it works? Peter saying he would love Man of War to come back. Tony saying the slow grow challenge taught me to see things through from start to finish. Somehow I managed to slot in my MLG challenge alongside it. Mighty Lancer Games. So it's been a solid help. Nice one, mate. Anything that keeps you motivated. Pomsy said he's annoyed because he was going to take all the chat on an expensive paid Caribbean holiday this year. Guess that won't be happening. We'll have to do it next year, mate. We'll have to do it next year. Just keep that money to one side. Don't spend it. Got Luby in the chat. That's my wife, who's right next door, other side of that wall. She said, I think house moves are off. There's a removals company near us saying they're closed until further notice. Just thought I'd answer the question as I heard it through the wall. If you can still hear this through the wall, Lou, the gentleman that was asking in the chat is in America, so I don't know if it's the same. But thank you. VJ says, I think once my Warcry terrain is done, the next project will be Blitzball. Oh, I definitely want to see your Blitzball stuff painted, mate. And he said he did a test record last week. It came out good. Looking forward to seeing that, mate. Ben saying, good advice. Seriously thinking of going cold turkey on social media, but there's so many positives. I think it's not so much social media. It's more about choosing where you spend your time. That's why I want this and these live chats, any streams and videos I do, any of the Facebook group, the Patreon chat. I want to try and keep it positive because it's easy to kind of get bogged down in bad news, if you like. And at the minute, we're being bombarded with bad news, and there's not much we can do about it. I'm a firm believer in, if you can't control it, then try not, like, just let it be. Like, try and kind of just, it's fine. I can't do anything about it. It's going to happen whether I worry about it or not. Try not to worry about it. I'm a firm believer in kind of that way of thinking, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stop how much of this news feeds I see. So what I'm doing is, when I am on social media, I'm looking to see things like Red Rose Wargame and Coliseum all painted up. I'm looking to see what you folks are doing, kind of what minis are you working on, what games are coming out, that kind of stuff. Try to stay positive on that stuff. King John said, I'm glad I just received my Cats and Catacombs Kickstarter. Here comes an old Cat Frostgrave team that I need to see. We've got two jokes saying he's currently putting together a regiment of Scarecrows and a regiment of Spectres. Those Scarecrows are a bit of a tricky build, to be fair, me, aren't they? VG says the tech he can do easy. That's because you're a tech guy. See, the banter I can do easy because it's just, I'm from the northeast. That's what we do. We just banter. Andy Smith said his walk ride to Rain may be finished by the end of this decade. Pawsey says he can't make it. He might be contaminated. Ah, fuck it. Next time, mate. Next time. Peter saying, you forgot you had Space Hulk to paint. There you go, mate. See, all these things you're forgetting about. Pawsey says you should get that fitness game for the Switch. Not saying you need it. What do you mean, Lou? I think I'm all right, man. He says, something to think about. Yeah, to be fair, mate, we bought a little one a trampoline at the weekend so that he's got some kind of stuff to kind of bounce around on and get a bit of exercise. I've cleaned all the garage out. I've got a punch bag to hang up and stuff. I've got my boxing pads and stuff. Me and my wife used to do a lot of kind of like boxing training together. I've got my bike. Luckily, where I live is kind of out towards farmland, and there's some old wagon ways where it'll be dead. There'll be nobody around. I can get my bike out and stuff. That's the kind of routine I'm looking to try and get into as well. Football's in his long-term project to catch up with all these small projects. He's currently working on a Caradron army. He's got Titanic as Blackstone Fortress and a whole range of Blood Bowl teams. Yeah, see, these are all the things. Now's the time to do it. Christian sharing the Kings of War Slow Grow campaign. Now's the perfect time. If you didn't get involved from January, now is the perfect time to try and catch up. We need, or the plan is to have 750 points painted by the end of this month. You'll get a chance to catch up now. G Daddy Gamer says, I'm not so sure about the Rams logo. I'm gonna have to Google it now while we're chatting. Let's have a quick look so you can get my live reaction, especially seeing as I've got my Rams helmet and all my Rams gear and stuff as well. So let's see what it looks like. Oh, is that it? No. Yeah, live reaction. It's awful. I prefer the old one. I wish we just kept the old one. There we go. I can't see me buying a lot of merchandise, put it that way. I certainly won't be replacing my OG Rams caps, that's for sure. Palmsy's saying, luckily he's got a great body. Simon York says, he's long-term terrain build, I think, working on 6x4 modular table. Perfect time to crack on with that, mate, eh? Jackson, did anyone see the new Warhammer community update on the Warhammer Old World? No, not seen it, mate. Not seen that. We'll have to check. We'll have to catch up on that at some point. Tony's saying hello to Lou and a belated happy birthday. I don't know if she's still in the chat, but she'll be able to hear me saying that. So happy birthday for last weekend, Lou. Steve's saying we could do a BlackJack Legacy swap shop. Andy can be Noel Edmonds. I've got a bit of a beard anyway. That's about as close as I'll get. Palmsy says all news is good news. That's my attitude. He says with tears. Peter says the bad news isn't too upsetting for me at the minute because I just had some good news health-wise. Peter, good news, mate. Share the good news. I hope brilliant, great. I love good news. Tim Kelly says circle of influence. Let the stuff you can't control go. 100%, mate. There's only two things you can control in life. You can control what you think and you can control what you do. Everything else, let it go. Let it go. VJ says, hoping his monumental Kickstarter still gets delivered soon. Yeah, we're going to be quite big delay, I think, on Super Fantasy Brawl as well. That would have been nice to paint up, but I think that's going to be well delayed now. Nick saying he's done it. You've just popped my Patreon cherry. Have you really? Thank you very much. I'll have to have a look on my chat, mate. I don't even pop up on the screen, did it? Let me have a quick look. Has it popped up? Thank you very much, Nick Yelland. You're now on the screen. Thank you, buddy. I didn't see that pop up. Thank you so much, mate. Christian saying, welcome to the Patreon now. Whee! Jack says that the two old law... They're looking into Old Law Empire, Kislev, the land of the Ice Queens, the early stages. We're talking female horse riders that shot magic. I'd like to see a bit more about what the plans for the game are, to be fair. Heatherwell saying the barber's closed, long-term project, get my metalhead looks back. Not young but baldy. I actually said to my wife today, I wonder if I just never shaved my hair. I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to do anything. I wonder if I just left it and see how it got. I'm tempted to not shave my beard whilst we're kind of in lockdown and just, I'm not worried about what it looks like for work anymore. You lot on the videos will know what it's all about anyway, so do I just let it go? See what happens? I've never tried to grow a big beard before. Jack says he's not sure what it is, but it's old hammer, has to be square bases, right? I'd assume so, mate, yeah. Peter saying, oh no, I've been busy changing old Warhammer to round bases. I don't even think it's going to be like the old minis, mate. I think we're going to see something different. Bloggy says, Andy, I'm sorry for pointing out the new logo to you. I just checked it out. Didn't think anything would get worse than the current Dolphins logo. I'm really disappointed, mate. It does not need to be LA. It needs to be Rams. It doesn't need to be LA. We've already got an LA team as well. Like, it needs to be something special. I know they've got the new kind of Coliseum and stuff like that, but I'm so disappointed in that logo, man. Claudio saying, don't shave the beard. Keep it coming. Get a proper beard going. Al says, I'm going to attempt to build an army on parade board as well. I've got some stuff I think I could use. See what happens. Also thinking of shaving my head. I don't think I let my hair grow, that's for sure. But I'll keep my head shaved. But yeah, I'm tempted to let the beard go a bit. VJ says he's threatened. Also, Al, when it comes to kind of your army on parade board, mate, if there's any bits you need and I've got anything lying about, give me a shout, mate. I can always do some kind of sort of Corona drop-off for you or something like that. VJ says he threatened to grow a beard for the lockdown the other day. My wife threatened to leave me. my beard now, my wife doesn't like it if I actually shave my beard off. I've never not had like stubble and stuff, but if I once did a clean shave, I had a bit of a rash on my neck. So I kind of shaved my beard off to try and like let my skin get a bit of like air and stuff to it. And she didn't like it. So yeah, the beard stays now, to be fair. Chris is saying, I'm a semi-truck driver, don't need a moving company. There you go, mate, you're sorted then. Chris is saying, grow the beard out. Tony says, have a beard slow grow challenge. We'll just do, you'll be able to see like the time lapses through like each week's video. We'll do like a measuring and stuff. Claudio says, I can send some motivational beard pics. David says, my daughter has hated my shaved face all winter. She's pretty happy now that it's coming back. My wife likes it either way. I thought you were going to say, David, your daughter was growing a beard there. Peter says, I shall soon have to shave the head now. The barbers is not an option. There's going to be a few people with some weird haircuts coming up, mate, that's for sure. Chris is saying his wife hates his winter fur. And Steve's saying there that... Claudio, you're the king of the beard. You are the king of the beard, Claudio, to be fair. I wonder whether my northeast Viking roots, maybe it'll start to kind of come through a bit thicker. Nick says the beard is power. That's what keeps you strong. Vijay says his ex was the opposite. When we got together, I had a beard and she wouldn't let me cut it off. Our partners tend to get stuck in their way from when they meet us. Yeah, well, it's part of the initial attraction, isn't it? Hethwell says, a dwarven-themed episode, everyone with long beards. Look like Cousin It from the Addams Family, just this big ball of fur kind of thing by the end of this lockdown. I have to apologise, by the way. I did have a topic for tonight, but honestly, the announcement thing kind of threw me tonight, and we've just got into full-on ramble, I think. So anybody that's watching this back later, I apologise. The topic's not really come up too much, but I'm fine having a chat, so let's not worry about it. Jack saying, mate, my beard looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I think mine might go that way. Mine kind of, it doesn't really kind of come together. Mine kind of grows out. I think I start looking like a bit of a kind of like a homeless kind of person, as opposed to like a chiseled beard. But who knows? Let's let it go and see what happens. David says, I had awesome chops when I met my wife, and she dated me despite of it. Christian sharing the t-shirts. Thank you very much, Christian, for sharing that. I would just check to make sure that they're still doing deliveries. But yeah, thank you very much. G Daddy Gamer saying no facial hair allowed by my wife. Pomsy saying we needed this. I think I needed it as well, mate. I've had a bit of a dumpy day today as well, to be fair. Tomorrow's not going to be a great day either. I think I needed it as well, to be fair. Claudio says, as you prepared your topic, did you have some serious plans for your long-term project backlog? Where did you start? What's driving you? Where I come from was, to be fair, is I was thinking of actually buying a full army in advance of the kind of lockdown, with the plans being, that's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to be stuck at home, I'm going to buy all the bits of paint, I'm going to buy the glue, I'm going to buy everything I need. I never normally buy an army in one kind of lump. I was going to potentially buy all of my dwarf stuff and maybe another army or something like that, and maybe just maybe film it as a kind of an army start to finish. Can I paint a whole army in a weekend, maybe as a video or something like that? Or can I paint a full 2,000 points in a week, like with kind of the hours I get here and there kind of stuff? A bit of a challenge really for myself. And then the announcement that come out tonight from the UK Prime Minister is pretty much all shops are closing, which leads me to believe, and it might not be the case tomorrow, but it leads me to believe I ain't getting any hobby stuff. Kind of no hobby stuff's getting shipped out. If I haven't ordered it already and it's not already been processed and shipped, I'm probably not getting it. So it kind of knocked me a little bit. So the stuff I wanted to talk about tonight, I just never even bothered talking about it really. So I kind of had to reframe it into what's my long-term project from what have I got lying around the house now. And to be fair, I've got plenty lying around the house. Let's not kind of kid ourselves. But I was planning to maybe give myself a bit of a challenge and try and kind of and make it into a video as well. To be fair, so yeah, that was kind of where it come from, mate. To be fair, Pomsy says I can't grow hair on my cheeks. That's my problem. To be fair, the shape of my beard here is where the hair grows. I get a couple of little kind of patches on my cheeks really, but it kind of grows in here. I don't shave them bits out. It doesn't grow there either. Kind of what you see is it'll just get a longer version of how it is now. I don't really shape it this way. Where are we at? Lee Russ says, I'm jealous of you beard owners. I'm 36 and I've never been able to grow much facial hair. To be fair, mine didn't really grow until I got much older as well, mate. I must have been well into my 30s before mine started to kind of like catch up. Tom the Bomb says, take care, be safe, gotta go all. Take care, Tom. Busey saying, could always do another stream midweek. To be honest, mate, I'm tempted to do like kind of painting streams and stuff like that as well. I'll definitely do more stuff. 100% I'll be doing more stuff, mate. Claudio says, my girlfriend would cut everyone who would try to cut my beard. Sounds like you've got to keep it there, mate. Christian says, sure, I'll get in on the slow grow a beard challenge. We're all going into lockdown beards, aren't we? We've got to have something to keep us going, haven't we? Nick said his wife would divorce him and the kids would want a new father if I lost the beard. It's amazing how people get used to it, isn't it? I remember when I was a kid, my dad, obviously I was born in the 70s, my dad, you can imagine, from the 70s, had a proper big kind of like handlebar moustache, looked like some kind of like Mexican bandit. And I remember the day that he shaved it off and it was just like, just kind of gobsmacked, didn't look like my dad anymore. Where we are, Tony Hamilton, this is an awesome chat, just what we needed. I'm happy to have a ramble. I get it. It's one of those chats that is awesome to do live because the banter between us all kind of keeps it all lively. I'm not sure how fun it'll be for others to watch back, but I'll try and make up for that with some. When I'm a bit more focused, when my mind's not all over the place during the week, we'll do more live chats. Like I say, I've got my camera all, I don't want to pull it down and show you, but I've got like a nice kind of like rig and stuff. I'll definitely do a studio tour video of this week. I'll show you around where I do all this filming because all you'll see is this bit here. And for some of you, you won't realise that I'm not in the garage anymore now. I've got a room in the house that's all kind of sorted purposely for when I go full time with this in the next few weeks by the looks of it. So yeah, I've got it. I've got all the right kit rigged up properly now. So I'm ready for cameras and kind of everything for when I'm sitting painting and doing builds and doing unboxings and stuff like that. So yes, we'll see how it sounds. Just out of interest as well, I've tried something different tonight. I've tried a lapel mic rather than a kind of a boom mic that I normally have from the top here. The reason I've done that is because I've mounted the camera there instead. Let me know if the sound's any better, any worse than normal, just as a question. Peter said, I do worry that where the beard grows on me and my hairy legs, I resemble an ungo. I'm still suffering from when I got my tattoo done and they shaved my arm. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but obviously the hairs on here is the hairs I've always had. These ones are just starting to grow back. So people do look at me a little bit weird as to go, why have you only got one hairy arm? David said, I've got hair up to my eyeballs. I definitely shaved that off. I don't even want to ask David. Where are we gone to? Jack saying the wife hates beards, but I grew mine and she hated the fact it suited me and it stayed, but it's only allowed to be so long before it's trimmed. I tend to like to trim mine. This is probably long for me now, but I tend to trim this just because it kind of grows out over rather than kind of down. If you go back to some of my older videos, you can see it's been a little bit bigger, but it's never been too long. So maybe this is the chance just to see what happens. I'm not worried about seeing customers anymore at the minute. I'm not worried about going to meetings with kind of some of my foreign colleagues thinking, who's this tramp? Like, who on earth is he? So yeah, we'll let it go and we'll see how it goes. Christopher saying, Games Workshop will be closed, right? Will they still do the reveals on Warhammer TV? You know what, mate? I assume that they'll be able to... Some of it will potentially be pre-recorded. Some of it will be... They might do it from home. At the end of the day, if they can take some kit home and live stream from home, I think they'll probably still do some stuff, but it might not be exactly what they had planned. I tell you what's amazing is that, like, it was meant... This on my board over there, which has got like all my stuff that I've got planned for the future and things, has got on that this was meant to be an Adepticon chat tonight, because Adepticon was meant to be this week. It feels like forever ago that we were saying, oh, it's only 2 or 3 weeks to Adepticon, not long to go kind of thing. It feels like forever ago that was, but obviously it's being cancelled now. So yeah, because all of their reveals were meant to be the Adepticon reveals. The rumours are they're going to announce a 9th edition of 40k. I don't know how true they are, but that's the rumours, and that the box set will have Necrons and Imperial Guard. We'll see if that becomes true, but that's the rumours I'm hearing anyway. Palmsy says, all I've got's a chin strap, really. I look like a right knob. Nick said he's got to go. See you later, guys. See you, Nick. Thanks for coming in, mate. Hethwell says, do it. Do a paint stream with random chatter. I think I will. I've done a couple before just to see what they were like and stuff. And they were kind of like this. As long as I've kind of... Because what I can do is, what's on this camera here, I can put on my screen, because I've got a screen here in front of me, which is where I can see the chat and stuff. So I can see, that means I can make sure that it's with it in shot and stuff, and I can just focus on doing the painting. And obviously I've got the camera pointing at me, so you still get to see this lovely face while we're having a chat and stuff. And it's just like this, but I guess I just have to have something in my mind to keep me talking, because I'm not looking at the chat as often. But yeah, I did it a couple of times just to test it out, really. Where are we at? Palmsy said I want full John Lennon just to see what it looks like. Busey saying should be same in UK. I'm not sure what that's a reference to, mate. Yeah. Duffy saying my father has a beard my entire life. Don't know if I'd recognise him without it. Yeah, my dad had like a tash for years. Christopher says if there's not a beard post in the Facebook by now, there soon will be. Everybody's going to start posting their beard pictures, aren't they? That's what's going to happen. The Facebook group's going to be full of beards, and anybody that's not in the chat tonight will be going, the hell's all this about? Palmsy saying Mike sounds absolutely fine. Thank you, Palmsy. Ben saying had to laugh this week. Australia shut down non-essential stores and businesses. We all assumed that this included Warhammer. Turns out it's considered essential and it's staying open. Interesting, mate. That might change stuff. And he's saying it should be the same in the UK. Busey must have been saying something about Warhammer closing down, then was he? Let's have a look. Must have missed that. Yeah. Interesting. Who knows? Then it might stay open. I heard it on the radio at the weekend as well that Australian rugby was still taking part as well. They basically said until the government shuts us down, we're going to keep playing behind closed doors. I thought that was a bit random. People saying the sound's fine. That's great then. This just makes it easier. It means I haven't got to keep switching microphones and stuff around. Deep Red says, whenever I miss the live stream, I really enjoy listening as long as I paint later in the week, so don't worry about tonight's content. It'll still make cool paint-along companionship. Well, I guess it's hard for me because I don't want to listen to myself back. Do you know what I mean? Sitting painting. So I never really be able to judge these as what use they are, other than as a live stream, really. So it's good to have some feedback, to be fair. Busey says, I did an order online a few days ago and Warhammer dispatched it today in Spain. Post and couriers are still working in the lockdown. It was just the announcement tonight, mate, said something about basically all shops, basically unless they're essential. And I guess it's the definition of that essential thing, really. Pomsy says, once you get a beard, next thing you know, you've got braces on your trousers. Yeah, and I'll start wearing one of those kind of newsboy caps and smoking my cigar. You know I like a cigar and stuff like that. My whiskey, my cigar, my braces on, my big... I'll be a proper hipster, that's what'll happen. Where are we at? Tony says, the paint streams have been really good. Oh, hang on, it must have jumped down here a little bit. Christopher says, whoops, meant to say that. Thanks, Andy, for figuring out what I meant. Yes, that's it, mate. Pomsey says it's a slippery slope. G Daddy Games, I'm ready for the second edition of Kill Team. That's the rumours as well, isn't it, that we're getting a second edition of Kill Team. Tony saying, ladies, you're not exempt. Is that from the beard growing? Pomsey says, Games Workshop should be shut, to be frank. Don't want to be a killjoy. I agree, mate. I think they should be shut as well. Because at the end of the day, we want to stop all of this like non-essential stuff. We want people to isolate and stop, because whilst the places, if they stay open, people will go there to get stuff. We want to try and stop all of that stuff, to be fair. Busey saying, sorry mate, my first message didn't go through. It's about the shipping, post and couriers. Thank you, mate. Neil says GW will be closed after tonight's address. That's exactly my thoughts, mate. And obviously, if GW are closed, that means all the hobby stores in the UK will be closed as well. I wonder how it gets interpreted tomorrow. That's probably what happens. We have these announcements from the government, and then basically people seem to take it upon themselves to say, well, that doesn't mean me, kind of thing. So, because then are they classed as online, so they can still ship because they're an online store, so they're not open for people to go in? This is where it'll get all muddy and stuff, I think. Ben says league is still going. Union is international, so it had to stop until they start a domestic competition. Okay. Possible saying maybe the retail shops might close, but online stuff, that's what I was keep talking about, mate. At the end of the day, it's still not essential stuff, though, is it? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make... It feels wrong if they keep them open, to be fair. Pomsey's saying, yeah, watch WWE too. Oh, Union. Sorry, we were talking about rugby, weren't we? That was it. That was where the league and the Union thing came from. Skullmunch says, GW, Oxford and Banbury are shut. Tim says, online gaming stores still delivering though. Well, they were up till today, but I'm not sure they will be tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't... Because the assumption is that those people shouldn't be going to work, really, should they? In the same way they've closed... Like, for example... like Costa Coffee closed today. They've been doing delivery, doing takeouts, haven't they, where you can do drive-thrus and stuff. They've closed now. McDonald's is closed now. I guess they're just trying to limit any kind of contact, really. And for me, whilst I would love to be able to order some hobby stuff, it doesn't feel like essential. It doesn't feel like life-saving, if you like. So that's what I mean. I understood it. I thought they would close. I guess it depends upon how it's read tomorrow, really. Where we got usually saying building supplies etc. are open here in Spain, but only for professionals, not general public. This is the kind of thing that makes me feel weird. Like, why do we need building supplies at a time like this? David says it better hit the local gaming store and buy my birthday present tomorrow before Canada announces a shutdown. If your country isn't in a lockdown, mate, expect it anytime soon. That's what I would say. Bloggy says you could probably order GW stuff and it will probably ship from another country. I'm not sure it would, mate. I'm not sure it would. Christopher said, I don't see them stopping mail service with the US. Maybe not in the US, mate, but the UK, we're a lot smaller country. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're smaller than most of your states. So it's a bit of a different situation. Where are we at? Steve saying if your local store is doing online after closing shop, they'll need our support more than the main GW store. Yeah, I mean, my local store, to be fair, still had a tournament for the weekend planned until today when he pulled it, which, to be honest, I wasn't overly keen about. Busy saying there, they had a rule in my paint shop, only 3 customers at a time, no walking about the warehouse. I still see that as non-essential stuff, really. I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if that kind of stuff still goes on, but we'll see. Heatherwell saying long-term projects, the stuff you have at hand without needing to order stuff. Yeah, but to be honest, mate, that's what we've been chatting about earlier on as well, and that was what I'd started about, really. The stuff that is surrounding me now. Lee says, well, I can't grow a beard, but I can build them. Caradron's all built now. Nicely done, mate. Palmsy saying should be emergency building repairs. Agreed, mate. Christian says technically hobby supplies could be essential for your mental health. You could say gyms were from that same kind of stuff, mate. Do you know what I mean? For exercise, and I'm just not. This is the problem. Where do you draw the lines, mate? Where do you draw the lines? Palmsy says, mate, I watch every week. It's a long match after long match. No idea what that was about. Tony saying, I had a friend from Poland who's not allowed to ship internationally. And Christopher says, thanks, my gaming store sent out my order already. Good stuff. Oh, my throat's drying now. I've done loads of chatting tonight. I'm assuming, Jack, you guys are talking about WWE. Wrestling's never been my thing, to be fair, so I'm completely lost when it comes to that. I remember taking the kids to see some WWE stuff years ago. The first time we went at Newcastle Arena was like it was John Cena and that kind of stuff. And we got tickets right at the last minute. We were miles away. You couldn't see bloody anything. And then the next time the kids wanted to go, I think the kids must have been about 9 or 10 at the time, so we're going back a few years. I got tickets pretty quick when they came out to take them, and we were almost ringside. We were like 2 rows, like the second row from the front, and it completely kind of ruined it for me. Not that I was a big fan, but I could hear them talking through the moves, like the 1, 2, 3, ready for the hit and stuff, and talking through it. And it was just, because when you hear it on TV, you hear the crowd screaming and the commentators over the top. When you were that close to it, the illusion had gone. It was a weird atmosphere. Not a weird atmosphere, because everybody was loving it who were like big fans. But as somebody that wasn't really into it, I could just hear them like kind of talking through the moves, which I thought was really weird. Pomsy saying tobacco's are still open here. If nicotine is essential, why not hobby? Did they sell other stuff there as well, mate? Maybe it's just like booze and booze and tobacco. Maybe might be classed as it. Busey saying it's a weird one. I don't see painting and decorating essential. Had an argument with my dad telling me to carry on working. Called it off this week anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody else what to do, kind of thing. But part of me thinks we should just try and you've got to lock down. You've got to. I completely changed my mind over the last few days how I feel about this. You just do have to kind of lock it down, don't you? That's it, and we've got to get through it. Alcy, and fun fact, I'm a huge wrestling fan, like huge. I've just never seen getting into it, mate, to be fair. I think it was because when I was a kid, we weren't very well off. We were quite a poor family. We never had Sky. When everybody else had Sky watching wrestling, we didn't have Sky. So I think that's probably why I never got into it. Jack saying they saw them in 98 and 2001, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker. I'm trying to think who there was. There was Big Show was there when I went to see it. John Cena was there. Who was the other ones? Because I remember some of their names. What was the other guy? There was some kind of... I'm trying to remember. My sons were into a couple of the big ones. John Cena was one of them. I'm trying to remember what the other one was called now. It'll come back to me at some point. But yeah, it was kind of around that era. Probably going back about 8 years ago, something like that. Yeah, I'll say no way GW can be considered essential. We'll soon find out, mate. We'll soon find out, won't we? David says, my wife took me to see Lucha Vavoom, which was luchador wrestling and a burlesque show. Well, that I could maybe get into. Busy said his next job, no one is there, so we'll do those if I can still get supplies. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about doing some decorating at home while we're stuck at home, and now really I would assume places like sort of B&Q and decorating stores should close, so we won't get any of that done now. Jack says, I never had Sky. Mates used to record it on VHS for £1. Yeah, nice one. Busy say, like you say, I reckon the paint shop will get closed by the police soon. Palmsy said, I thought the virus stuff was a joke at first when they've asked people to stay indoors. Never. Maybe we don't know the full story. Just be safe. I just thought that as long as you were kind of keeping your distance and as long as you were kind of being careful with stuff and you were washing your hands and you know, kids were low risk, so they'd be fine at school, that kind of stuff. Like I up until about 3 or 4 days ago, I was saying I can't believe that they've kind of cancelled schools, and that especially like all of the kids that are doing like GCSEs, that they haven't kept them at school to do their exams and stuff. And then here I am like 3 or 4 days later with a completely different viewpoint now. I just want to I think we should just like lock down and get out of this as quickly as we can. Duffy's saying the Lucha Vavoom sounds interesting. It definitely does. It definitely does. Christopher Warden saying Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Andre the Giant. That's my era of wrestling. It was probably my era as well, to be fair, but I didn't watch it. Ultimate Warrior, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I remember my mates having like the wrestling toys, but yeah, it was never my thing. I had like A-Team toys, and what else did I have back then? Mask. Does anybody remember Mask? That might have kind of gone over your head. Hethwell saying, I assure you, with family full of nurses across 3 generations, that shit is real. Yeah, that's kind of where my head is now, mate, to be fair. Hethwell saying, don't overload them. Peterson, as a kid who's a big wrestling fan, once jumped off the sofa and sprained his arm. His coffee table is like a hobby zone as well. I want to be downstairs to be available for my oldest. But Game of Thrones is seeing me through. I don't want to get too bogged down in watching box sets, to be fair. There's a lot of stuff that I should probably go back and watch. Al saying he started watching wrestling when he was 3 in 1987. You're just a kid, mate. That's what it is. You're much younger than me. I've been countless shows and met loads of the talent. Also, my daughter is training at wrestling school and is trained with a WWE UK guy. She's 12. She could be the next Paige. It was Paige that was the UK one, wasn't it? I watched that film recently. What's it called? Fighting with My Family, which was actually quite good. I enjoyed it. Ben Davey loved Mask. I knew it wasn't just me, mate. I love Mask as well. Mayhem, I think, were the bad guys as well. Palmsy says they wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't serious. Just saying this because I want everyone to be safe. Yeah, that's where I am as well, mate. I don't want to get preachy and tell other people what they should do, but I do kind of think it's, if you don't think it's serious, I think maybe you're not kind of like, maybe you're not seeing the full picture. I think at the minute. Palmsy saying Mask as well. Yes, I knew it wasn't just me. The Bushwhackers and Legion of Doom, Jake the Snake Roberts, British Bulldog. I'm trying to remember. There was a guy, he used to wear like black trunks, covered in tattoos, had a bit of kind of like a steely stare on him. It was kind of, I can't remember what he was called. He was the other one that the kids were kind of like right into, and I forget what it was. Around the same era as John Cena and stuff. I'll know the name as soon as I hear it anyway. Where are we at? David saying Mask was pretty sweet. Yes, everyone's saying Mask. I knew it wasn't just me. Everyone remembers it. Jack saying I have Mask on DVD along with Thundercats, Ulysses 31, Jace and the Whaled War. I see it's all coming out now. Hethwell saying on the mini side I was eyeing Zone Alpha rules and some miniatures. Any input on the rules? There's been a lot of talk about it, mate. Check out Gorilla Miniature Games. He's done some videos on it. I had a quick review over them. They seem pretty good. There's some solo rules in there as well, mate, because there's a few missions you can play co-op, so you can just play as both players, if you like, against the AI. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent, I think. Where are we at? Lee says, Mask had a great theme tune. Yes, it did. Yes, it definitely did. Busey said, I can always ship you paint and supplies if you can't go to B&Q. Shipping will be expensive. To be fair, mate, it's a blessing in disguise. I hate decorating. So it's probably a blessing in disguise. Palmsy saying Batista. No, it wasn't Dave Batista. It was, who was it? I'll have to Google it. It's not Roman Reigns. You'll know as soon as I remember who it was. It's good. It might take me some searching now. I'm looking through the big names. Randy Orton. That's who it was. It was Randy Orton. There you go. I knew it would come to me eventually. Al says, I recently bought Visionary series on DVD. I love that. I don't remember Visionaries, mate. I don't remember that one, to be fair. Yeah, you're about 6 seconds behind me in the chat. Palmsy says, out of nowhere. Hey, just come to me there. I was literally typing in wrestlers' names, and before I even pressed send, it was like Randy Orton. That's who it was. Yes. Where are we at? And Jackson, the Undertaker there, yeah. So, folks, somehow I have managed to ramble through almost 90 minutes now without really kind of getting into the topic of the chat. But I hope everyone's had a good night. I mean, the numbers have not been fantastic tonight. I'm sure people have kind of got other things on their mind. But I hope you folks that have come in tonight and you folks that have tuned in and watched this back later on as well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's kind of took your mind off for a little while. And I know we've talked about it a little bit and stuff, but we can't not talk about it, can we? But I want to try and keep stuff positive, and I hope I've managed to do that. We will definitely have some painting streams. I'll get a video up this week and I'll give you a bit of a tour around the studio place so you can kind of, because it's always nice to see it from a bit of a different angle and see what I see when I'm doing it and kind of have a little look around. I've got a decent phone that I can kind of use my phone so I don't have to move all my cameras and stuff. You can see where everything is. And anybody that's thinking about doing like sort of YouTube stuff, then you can kind of ask me questions and stuff, and I can tell you where not to spend money, where it's a waste of time, because I spent way too much in the early days buying stuff I never really needed, to be fair. Where are we at? Deep Red is saying, I can't believe it, I've nearly finished the first 10 elves. The faster you speak, the faster I paint. When I get carried away a little bit, I tend to slow down a little bit for kind of live streams and stuff. But as a kind of northeast of England, the accent it's pretty fast anyway. And I think sometimes when I just get into the chat and I start rambling, I do kind of speed up. So I apologise if I speak too fast for some people, especially yous that are not non-English speakers, they're native English speakers. So if you ever need me to slow down, please just tell me. If I'm getting a bit excited or I'm getting a bit kind of like if I'm into a topic or something, I tend to speed up a little bit. Busey's saying some of those mask toys were really hard to get. Al saying Orton is in the headline. Is he still wrestling? I think he was a bit of a bad guy. I think when I used to take the kids to see it. Mark saying, shall we start on the topic then? Pomsy saying, thank you everybody. This was well needed. Yeah, I think I needed it too, mate. To be fair. Jack saying, yep, great topic, great laugh tonight. Pomsy saying numbers definitely affected by the news, etc. to be expected. I'll be completely honest, and I've said this many times now, the numbers don't affect me anymore. I've stopped looking at numbers. I don't care really how many YouTube views I get. What I'm interested in is building a community that love to come back, that are invested in what I'm trying to do, and they're getting something back from it. Because at the end of the day, I've got over 7,500 subscribers now. However, if 100 of those 7,500 subscribers support me on Patreon, that pays me the wage that I need to keep this all going in the future. So I don't need 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 subscribers. I just need a core of people that support me. And that's kind of it. So the numbers are almost irrelevant, really. That's why I can have these rambles that might not kind of hit all the special keywords and might not make 40,000 views and all that kind of stuff, because it's kind of irrelevant. I'm not doing this to be a big YouTuber. I'm doing this to kind of be the captain of the community, if you like. That's what I'm trying to do. So the numbers are kind of irrelevant, really. I'm not that worried about it. I'm not in this to be a YouTuber. YouTube just happens to be the format that I can interact with the community, and I'll continue to do that. So thank you very much to every single one of you. Where are we at? Peter saying, I enjoyed tonight's chat so much that I nearly jumped off the sofa. It's me getting excited, Peter, that's what it is. Christopher says, enjoyed it greatly, Andy. Thank you, everyone. Claudio saying, well, the topic was there and it guided the ramble, so I think that wasn't off topic. I think you're being kind there, mate, but yeah, I know what you mean. It did kind of guide it. Ben saying, this has been great for me, helped keep my head straight. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you coming in, mate. It's helped me too. Hethwell saying was a good show, mate. Cheers. Thank you. I'm looking back at what Christian was saying. Talk about visionaries. Yeah. Where is he at? Tony saying, you're a hardcore beast who kept it entertaining, buddy. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Daniel says, hi all, just leaving work. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello, Daniel. Hope you're nice and well as well, mate. Tim saying, cheers all, be safe, lots of pics to the Facebook group, please. Yes, definitely. Pomsy saying, much love all, follow me on Twitter, Paul Palms, not for self-promotion, just for solidarity. Yes, what we'll do is, I know I don't like to share things in the Facebook group because I don't want it to be, it became a place in the past where people just came over, dumped all their latest YouTube videos and never interacted as a community. And I don't mind people sharing stuff when they're part of the community. I just don't like people using the community as somewhere to dump their self-promotion. But what I'm going to do is I am going to put a post up at some point in the Facebook group where we can all share our details and stuff, because I want us to kind of be a lot closer over the next coming weeks and months, because I think we all need a kind of a good social network around us. So yes, we'll sort something out for that, mate. So yeah, no worries on sharing that. Steve Smallworld says, great to catch a bit of the live stream. I've missed it. Nice to have you in, Steve. I hope you're well, fella. Steve says, so you're speaking English. I think about every 3 words you'll probably hear an English word come through. Mark says, I love the chat, but the Discord is really good. Get on in there, people. Yeah, I love the Discord chat as well. And I said it before, thank you to VJ as well for prompting me to do it. It's kind of like this, really. So where we've got like 42 people in at the end of the stream now. There's about there's 48 people in the Patreon group and a few YouTube members as well. So that's kind of, so the like day to day, these are the kind of random chats that we have ongoing. So if you do find you have a few spare dollars each month, the Patreon starts from $2 a month, and for that you get access into the Discord groups as well. There's other bonuses if you pledge more as well. But if you would like to come across and join, I appreciate it. I didn't really want to push it tonight because I appreciate people have got to look after their families first and foremost, and asking for money at a time like this isn't the right thing. But if people would like to join the Discord chat, then please do check out that Patreon link. David says, smaller live chats are funnier for the participants anyway. Uncle Adam's chat on Sunday was off the hook at the beginning. Yeah, I like them. Anything over 100 sometimes gets a bit difficult to interact so much with individuals because the chat goes that fast. I missed a lot of stuff. Tonight it's hovered around. Actually, I don't even know what kind of numbers we've had or what it's kind of peaked out at any point. Got no idea, but I think we've been 50 or 60 at times and stuff. Where we at? Christian said, it was a great chat. Thanks, Andy. Hope everyone has a good week and stays safe. Don't forget, you are all more than welcome to reach out for a chat. Yes, what I will say is I noticed a stat today that says only 6% of my subscribers have clicked the bell notification. So please, if you haven't clicked the bell notification to get notified when it goes live, please do click it, because as I do these, I won't really have a schedule for a little while. As I do more live streams, the painting streams, the odd video and stuff, you'll get a notification and then you can pop back and come and kind of join in it and stuff. So please do click the bell notification if you could. Jack saying, bye Andy, bye all, stay safe inside and paint your minis. Tony saying, support and love is something that you have, Andy. I appreciate every single piece of it as well, mate. Simon York says, good chat, stay safe all. Al saying, Captain Community, like Captain Underpants, but better. My little one's just started watching Captain Underpants. It's hilarious. Pomsy says, I kind of half saw that. I wasn't really paying attention to Al Krabby. Or to Edge. Pomsy says, BlackJack Discord is great. It's like having loads of mates in your pocket 24/7. I'm glad that's how you feel about it, mate. And Possible says, night all, take care and stay happy. Deep Red says, night all. And David Moffat says, stay healthy, everyone, too. And Claudia says, thanks, Andy. Thanks, everyone. And I think with that, that is probably the perfect time to say goodnight to you all. So thanks, everyone, for coming in. As I said, I'll get some more stuff up very, very quickly and stuff. We'll do some more live streams. We'll do some painting streams and stuff. But thank you, everybody that's come in tonight. And I'll see you all in the next video.